Hello and welcome to our 8th series of EcoEye. Our skies were once dominated by many species of birds of prey. But now there's a battle on for them to make a return. Tanya will explore the secrets of a special area of conservation in West Cork, and also investigate how Ireland's youth beckons a new wave of environmentalists. Magnificent birds of prey, such as these, are still a relatively uncommon sight in the skies over Ireland. Misunderstood and persecuted, they may have come close to the point of extinction by human activity, but all that may be about to change. The good news is that they may be staging something of a comeback. Today, I'm visiting some of the projects currently being run around the country to reintroduce birds of prey. Later we'll see the white-tailed sea eagle fledglings being released back into the skies over the lakes of Killarney. But first, we head to Donegal to see 2 golden eagle chicks perched on their nest, preparing to take flight in Glenveigh National Park. I met up with Lorcan O'Toole and asked him why we fear these birds.
I think it's a lot to do with perception, and maybe in the 19th century, if you were a very small farmer and you only had 1 or 2 sheep, you wouldn't take the risk of losing 1 lamb to an eagle nearby. Here in Donegal, there was a lot of concern from the farmers that the golden eagles that we reintroduced might damage their livestock. But we put them in touch with the Scottish farmers, who reassured them that it was a very rare event for that to happen. During the 19th century, some of the estates in Ireland basically tried to get rid of all their hooked-beaked species, basically any birds of prey that might kill the target species they were trying to shoot during the shooting season.
The persecution of birds of prey has been part of our mindset until recently. I asked Lorcan how successful his project has been.
The Golden Eagle project had its first milestone in 2005 when we had an egg laid in a nest in Donegal. And this year we're delighted because we now have 2 chicks in Glenveigh. And we're very pleased with the fact that, this nest is proof that golden eagles can breed and breed quite well.
When these chicks are born, are they quite fragile?
They're very small and the eggs are laid 3 days apart. So the oldest chick hatches and it's always that little bit stronger than the second chick. And only maybe 5% of the second chicks will survive to the wild. More often than not, they only rear 1 chick in a golden eagle nest. Now, we intervened this year in an effort to maximise our productivity. And we took the small chick out at 4 days of age and we gave it to a falconer, Pedro Saltani, down in Glenties, and he managed to rear that chick using harris hawks, so there was no human contact with that young chick. And we put the chick back into the nest and it's doing quite well, and we hope that it'll fledge and both chicks will be flying here in Glenveigh. So we'll be able to tell the public that visit Glenveigh that they could go up to the head of the glen and hopefully they will see on occasion a pair of adults and 2 young chicks flying around Glenveigh this autumn and winter.
This is only the 2nd successful breeding attempt since the Golden Eagle reintroduction project started in 2001. The project organisers and volunteers afford the birds every protection, but they still fear poisoning.
Here in Donegal, we picked up a bird that was poisoned with a weed killer paraquat in February of this year. The people in the area were disgusted that someone locally had put out poison because people were aware of the risk to birds of prey. But there has been a tradition when there were no large birds of prey in Ireland over the last 50 or 60 years to use poison to kill foxes and crows. And we've produced a leaflet now in association with the farming organisations asking farmers not to use meat as poison baits, or also to control foxes or crows without using poison. Down in Kerry, 5 white-tailed eagles have been poisoned, and in Wicklow, 2 of the red kites released there have been poisoned as well. So it's a national problem.
Ireland's Golden Eagle Trust has filed a complaint with the EU. It focuses on Ireland's failure to protect birds of prey that have been reintroduced under licence back into the wild. it cites no less than 8 cases of poisoning in Ireland. The laws to protect birds of prey are lax, and we don't treat poisoning seriously enough.
It's a shift that, if it doesn't take place, it'll be a serious ongoing threat to our efforts to restore Irish native birds of prey.
Moving southwest to Kerry, I was lucky enough to be invited by Dr. Alan Mee to film the release of some 20 white-tailed sea eagle fledglings.
We got 20 birds this year from Norway, and they were all about 6 to 10 weeks old. So we keep them in the cages here for about 1.5 to 2 months before they're ready to release.
How will they adapt now to an Irish landscape and climate and habitat?
We hope this is probably as close as you can get maybe to some of the Norwegian sites they would have hatched in and grown up in.
The success of this project has seen the return of the sea eagle to the skies of Kerry, after an absence of over 100 years.
The last breeding documented, we know, was 1898 in County Kerry, and birds hung on, the odd individual hung on until about 1910. Like the golden eagle and lots of other birds of prey in the island, they were, persecuted out of existence, unfortunately.
Presumably this is going to all happen very quickly, is it?
Yeah, like us all, like humans, they're individuals. So some birds will be out of there within the first few seconds. They will be gone very fast. They're really ready to go. With others tend to be a little bit shyer, will hang back, might take some time to go. But we just got to wait and see what happens.
Right, I'm really looking forward to it. And this is the first time they've flown, is that right?
This is the first time the birds have flown, yeah.
As we prepared to move to the bird's secret location and hide ourselves from view, I asked Alan what to expect.
It's obviously very secretive where they are nesting at the moment.
Yeah, and they're isolated from human contact.
Down here now, we to be very quiet.
Exactly.
And how close can we get?
You can be very quiet, but you can get very close. As soon as we lower the hatches, they're ready to go.
From the hide, we've a good view of the cages. As the release time draws near, the birds seem to sense their imminent freedom. Finally, the team lowers the hatch and the first sea eagle takes to the skies. Once one bird flies to freedom, the others soon become anxious. The second cage is opened. In line with Dr. Allen's prediction, the bird is hesitant and eyes its surroundings for a few moments before launching itself. A sea eagle's wingspan is over 8 feet, and it's the first time these huge birds have ever flown. Predictably, one has encountered difficulty and finds itself stuck in the undergrowth. Seeing that the bird is unhurt, the team hold back.
She find it very hard to fly out of there. That's the first time she's flying, and she stumbled on the way out.
However, this strong fledgling is determined, and it's not long before it finds its way out and takes its second taste of freedom. With the birds of prey now free, Alan's main worry is that they will find poison. Poison carcasses were traditionally left out in late winter and early spring during the lambing season to kill foxes and crows. They're illegal and now pose the gravest threat to all our birds of prey.
Is this not banned in Ireland, this poisoning?
No, it isn't, and it is still a real problem for us. And they have banned all poisons in Norway for a few decades now, and they don't understand why we still use it here. You have to change it both from a legislative point of view, have to change people's hearts and minds and make them feel part of the project, and the eagle should be part of the Irish landscape and was in the past and hopefully will be in the future.